So we are doing Vyanjan Sandhi, Vishnu Jana Sandhi. So last time we did till this sutra, Dadhaneshu Ramaha. Yeah, we did till here. Dadhaneshu Ramaha. And yes, we'll move ahead today. So we are skipping two sutras today. We'll cover it afterwards. And Sutra 111th and 112th. So we'll cover it in 2-3 days, and we'll move to the Sutra number 113. It's very interesting and very simple. So this is Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, which means Ma Rama at the end of a Vishnu Pada becomes Vishnu Chakra when a Vishnu Jana follows. Ma Rama at the end of a Vishnu Pada becomes Vishnu Chakra when a Vishnu Jana follows. It means if there is Ma at the end of a word, then Ma converts into a Vishnu Chakra. Vishnu Chakra in normal is known as Anuswar. When a Vishnu Jana follows, Vishnu Janas are the consonants. If a vowel follows, then it won't convert into Anuswar, it will remain the same. But when any Vishnu Jana follows, then this Ma will automatically convert into Vishnu Chakra by this sutra. And this is very rampant everywhere. For example, Krishnam Smarati, because Sa is a Vishnu Jana, so this Ma converts into an Anuswara. But when a vowel follow, like E, then it remains the same. It doesn't convert into an Anuswara or Vishnu Chakra. There are a lot of examples for this. For example, any Vishnu Jana, then the Ma converts into this one. An example could be Ramam Pashyati. So here in this case, Ramam Pashyati, so this Ma will convert into Vishnu Chakra. Ramam Pashyati. Another example could be Putram Tadayati. So in this case, again, Ma will convert into a Vishnu Chakra because a Vishnu Jana is following. So it will be Putram and Tadayati. And so on. So this is a very common used Sandhi. Very common used. Okay.
Prabhuji, this Sandhi, if we are pronouncing It seems to me like as if does it make any significant difference, like Krishnam Smarati, and if it is a Vishnu Chakra, then also like Krishnam Smarati. In terms of pronunciation, I'm just wondering.
Pronunciation is basically the same.
Okay.
It's almost a subtle difference. Like,
Okay.
and the subtle difference is when we chant ma, the ma sound, then our lips contract.
Yes.
You know, both the lips. If you chant ma now, so both of your
Yes.
lips will touch.
Yes.
But this Vishnu Chakra sound is a little different from the original ma sound. And so
it's very fine, slight difference.
Just a slight difference, and like in ISKCON, the Vishnu Chakra sound and the ma sound are literally the same. Means the devotees, they make the same sound for both.
In Vedic chanting, maybe we can feel the difference, how they pronounce traditionally.
Yes, yes. In Vedic accent, there is a difference. For example, like there, they will chant this as something like this, gung.
Okay.
Like gung, or you know, as gung. But this is a Vedic accent, of course. Yeah, like that. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So all around you will see examples for this. Like for example here, Yo Brahmanam. So if you notice this Vishnu Chakra, this is another conversion of the Ma. So it was Ma here, but Ma got converted into a Vishnu Chakra because a Vishnu Jana is following. So Mo Vishnu Chakra, Vishnu Jana. Same here, Purvam. So we had a Ma here, and that got converted into a Vishnu Chakra because a Vishnu Jana is following. And same here, Tam. It was Tam because Ha is a Vishnu Jana, so Ma got converted into Anuswara or Vishnu Chakra. Same here, Prakasham, Aham. You know, everywhere you'll see this Sandhi. Okay? Quite a easy Sandhi actually. So we'll move ahead. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Okay, so yeah, Hare Krishna. So am I audible?
Yes, bro.
Sometimes it's hard to get a peaceful place to sit and study. Anyways, so that was Sutra 113th. So now we'll move to next Sutra, which is this one, 114th. It says, Vishnu Chakrasya Hari Venur Vishnu Varge Vishnu Padantasya Tuva. That Vishnu Chakra becomes a Hari Venu of the same Varga as the following Varna when a Vishnu Varga follows. It looks quite technical here, but when we do some examples, it will be clear. But this is optional for Vishnu Chakra situated at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So basically it means if we have a word like Krishnam and Kirtayati, so in this case, what will happen is, first of all, this Ma will convert into the Vishnu Chakra by Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, 113th Sutra. And then what will happen is, by this Sutra, 114th, this Anuswara Vishnu Chakra will further convert into the Hari Venu of the following uh, letter as per the Varga of the following letter. So Ka belongs to the Ka Varga, and Hari Venu for Ka is the Nga sound, this one. So this Vishnu Chakra will optionally convert into that sound. I'm sorry, I'm not able to highlight this one. And if we have Bha, so Bha is Pa Varga. So optionally we have Vishnu Chakra, and optionally it's converted to Ma by this rule. And then Sangsaram Tarati. So once it's Sangsaram, simple Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, and optional rule is that again this Vishnu Chakra is converted into the Hari Venu of the following Varga. So Ta is Ta Varga, so Ta Tha Da Dha Na. So Sangsaram, this Na will come here. So this is an optional rule here, and yes. But there is one more thing in this sutra. If we have a Vishnu chakra, let's say in middle of the word, any word, and then we have any particular consonant following, just following this inside one word, like here we have some word, let's say K. Then this Anuswara will convert into the Hari Venu of this Varga. It's not an optional, it's like a regular rule. For example, if we have Sankirtana, so this is a Vishnu Chakra, and following is Ka, which is a consonant and belongs to Ka Varga. So this Anuswara or Vishnu Chakra will convert into the Anuswara of Ka Varga, which is this one. So first of all, the form was Sam and then Kirtana. Then what happened was, we applied Mo Vishnu Chakra Vishnu Jane, so it became this. Then because these both are one word, they are not two words, separate words, they are one word. Then furthermore, by 114th Sutra, this Anuswara will convert into the Hari Venu of the following Varga. So this is Ka Varga, so it will convert into this. So it becomes Sankirtana. And in Devanagari, we'll write it as Sankirtana. There are many examples for this. Another example could be like they give here, Kim Nara. We say Kim Nara. So first of all, we'll apply Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, so it will become this. And then 114th Sutra, Vishnu Chakrasya Vishnu Varge Vishnu Padanta Se Tuva. Vishnu Chakrasya Hari Venu Vishnu Varge Vishnu Padanta Se Tuva. By that Sutra, because Na belongs to Ta Varga, so this Vishnu Chakra will convert into Hari Venu of the following Varga. So Ta Tha Da Dha Na, it will become Na. So then we get the form Kinnara. So in this 114th rule, there are two divisions. First division was this one, that if we get something like Krishnam and plus what was the example here? Bhajati. Then first of all, this will convert into Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, and then Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenor Vishnu Varga Vishnu Vedanta Setuva. So Pa Pha Ba Bha Ma. So this will be the. So here we have two options. One is this, two answers, and second is Krishnam Bhajati. So this was rule number 1 or division number 1 of 114th rule. And the second division is that if we have sandhi in one word, inside one word, for example, kin and nara, then we first convert it into Mo Vishnu Chakra Vishnu Jane, and then Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenu Vishnu Varga Vishnu Padanta Siddhuva Kinnara. So here no options, one answer, but here two options, two answers. So like this. And this is actually very important sandhi, these both. Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane and Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenu Vishnu Varga Vishnu Padantasya Tuva. So please keep memorizing the sutras. We're trying to go slow so that you can get some time to memorize. And yes, this was. Any questions on these two sutras?
Just Prabhu, there was one sutra like Hari Venurva.
Yes.
So means is it like over this rule is overriding that rule or something like that?
In Hari Venurva, the requirement was that at the last of the last position of the first word, there has to be Vishnu Dasa, right?
Yeah.
And then any Harivenu.
Yes.
And then those rules will apply.
Okay.
But if you remember what was Vishnu Dasa, so the Harivenus were not Vishnu Dasas.
Yes.
But here we are working on the Harivenu.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes, Prabhuji. It is like Vishnu Varga, but not Vishnu Dasa.
Yeah, Vishnu Dasa were Hari Kamala, Hari Khadga, Hari Gada, and Hari Ghosha.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Excluding Harivenus.
Yes.
But in this case, we are only working with. Basically, we are working on Ma. And furthermore, we are working on the Harivenus.
Okay.
So it's a different set of rule than that Harivenurva.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Any more query or something on this? Two sutras. Okay, let's see some practical examples from some commentaries. Okay. Just I'll read, and if we get something, we'll discuss. I'll start from here. अथ नाना पुराण शास्त्र प्रबंधै चित्त प्रसक्ति मलभमान सत्र Pradhanam. So if you see this Pradhanam, this is Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, 113th Sutra. Bhagavad Shastram, again Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. Praripsur Veda Vyasa Tat Pratyuha Nivrityadi Siddhaye Tat Pratipadya Paradevatan Smarana Lakshanam. Again, Lakshanam is this Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. And Mangalam Acharati Janmadisya Param. Again, Param, Parameshwaram. These are all Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. Then Bahuvachanam again. So in this way, all these bindus, anuswaras, the Vishnu Chakras you see, they are all result of this Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. And the second rule you get to see often. Sometimes you get to see and sometimes you don't. For example, if you see this Sampradaya, if you are able to see, actually this is not the way it should be written here. It should not be written here with a bindu. It should be written like this. Just 1 minute. Yes, sorry for that interruption. Yeah, so it should be written like this. See, we have some as a prefix, and then we have, actually pra is also a prefix, then we have daya. So first of all, let's add this pradaya. And now if you see here, pa is a Vishnu Jana, and we have ma. So first of all, we will apply Vishnu Chakra. So mo Vishnu Chakram, Vishnu Jana, Sampradaya. Furthermore, by the second sutra, Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenur Vishnu Varge Vishnu Pradantasya Tuva, because Vijana is following, so this Vishnu Chakra or the Anuswara will be converted into the Harivenu of the following Varga. So this is Pa Varga. So Pa, Pha, Ba, Bha, Ma. So again it will be Sampradaya. So it should be written like this, Sampradaya. But anyways, some publishers, some printers, they don't actually, or they don't much accept this, half ma thing. Like in modern Hindi, if you read the modern Hindi textbooks and so on, they have skipped these things. Writing half ma or writing half na. Now you will get to see, or writing half. What is this? Writing this. You will not see Ganga written like this now. You will see it like Ganga. Or you will not see Shankha written like this. Instead, you will see it like this. So this is just an easy version of these forms. Ganga. You just put a dot. One needs to put all the 5 Harivenus in a single dot to make things easy for the typist and so on. But the original thing is this one, like this, Sampradaya and so on.
Technically it is wrong?
Which one?
The modern version, strictly speaking.
Technically it is wrong, and it's just out of lethargy and laziness. Yeah, means, to be frank. Of course, the mood is understood by the readers, but still, it's just a result of laziness. To type all these things, half ma, half na, complicate them and their typing as well. So,
how can we remember when it is optional and when it is compulsory? I'm still getting a little confused in the 2 divisions.
Yeah, compulsory is inside one word.
Okay.
And optional is in 2 words.
Sure. Okay, like that.
So, Krishnam bhajati or Krishnam bhajati, like this.
Okay.
So optional is in 2 words and compulsory in 1 word.
Okay. I often used to have this confusion, why this half ma and the dot system is there. Anyway, today I got clear what is this.
Actually, even in I have noticed in our BBT Hindi books, so mostly they use this rule actually. They don't deny this rule.
So
They
in
don't just,
Sankirtan,
yes.
sorry, in Sankirtan, technically, then which is correct? The Vishnu Chakra is not correct technically.
This technically this one is correct.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Hmm.
Because it is one word.
Yes, yes.
Okay, yes, got it.
Okay. So, so today we'll finish with the grammar part, and I don't know if everything is okay with everyone because Vyanjan Sandhi is little technical, and there are a lot of varieties playing around with same consonants and this and that. So what I was thinking is, tomorrow we will not study grammar. Actually, Wednesday is Narsingh Chaturdashi. Okay, what do you think? Shall we? Okay, Narsingh Chaturdashi, we should not do class because we'll be conducting Abhisheka in the evening,
Yes, Prabhu.
and then there will be Prasadam. So whole day will be fasting and then Prasadam. So I don't think we'll be able to make it for the class. So Wednesday we'll skip. Tomorrow we'll do for sure, and Wednesday will be the class. But on Thursday, so we'll take sort of test of Vyanjana Sandhis only. So tomorrow we'll not study grammar. We'll study some practical applications or some more examples for the Vyanjan Sandhis we have done till now. And day after tomorrow is free. And on Thursday we'll do a little test like we did for the Swara Sandhis, the Sarveshwara Sandhis. So that test makes it, digestive. It helps us to digest the teachings, the lessons. So on Thursday we'll conduct a test like we did it previously. So now we'll just do some Gita.
Ramsundara Pro, does it mean that we finished Vishnujana Sandhi?
No. We haven't finished yet. But I'm just conducting this small little test because, this Vyanjan Sandhi is a bit more to go. And and it's of course longer than the Sarveshwara Sandhi. I think it's 3 times longer than the Sarveshwara Sandhi. So, and it becomes a little complicated when so many sutras appear and come and appear, and it becomes a little undigestible for someone initially to, grasp and digest everything. So this test will help everyone, all the students to, grasp it more naturally and nicely. Like that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So syllabus is till this Sandhi only, no? This sutra.
Yeah, till
last.
this Sandhi only. Yeah,
Okay.
till this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Prabhu.
So we'll just do Bhagavad Gita and
the sutras also asked like what rules like Vishnu Jana, Vishnu Pada.
Yes. Here in Sarveshwara Sandhi, I didn't ask anyone to memorize sutras. I didn't give much stress. But now on, you all have to memorize the sutras also. Yes. Only the sutras, no, not the vritti and the other explanations. Only the main sutras in Sanskrit. Yes. And if someone is really like you don't really have much time to memorize, or you can't make it to memorize, then there can be some concession. But it will be, best if you can memorize, and it will help you to recall the rule and the application and so on. So it will be best if you can. And if you cannot really make for it, then we will not force. Then we'll just seek the right answers, the right sandhis. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so quickly, we'll do Bhagavad Gita. Which verse is today? Anyone?
I think Guruji 12 tasya sanjanayan.
We did Anyacha Bhava, right? Aparyaptam we did.
Ayaneshu.
Ayaneshu cha sarveshu is the one.
Huh.
Okay, so we do. I think I'll do in Devanagari today. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagamavastita.
I think you have not shared the screen.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, so I have shared the Sandhi file, the PDF in our Telegram group. So those who newly joined the group or the class can avail of that PDF. I just checked 2-3 days before in our Telegram group. And also the videos which I'm posting on YouTube. So I have also posted the link of that playlist in the group itself. So everything is there in the group. So you can avail of all those materials from the group. अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागम् अवस्थितः भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः. Everyone is comfortable with this, right? Devanagari. I hope everyone is comfortable with this Devanagari.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, so we'll take word by word. First is Ayaneshu. Okay, what is Ayaneshu? Noun, verb, pronoun, adjective, or
Pronoun.
Anyone else? Any other guess?
It is Sarvanama. Should be Sarvanama. Sorry, I was thinking about Anya.
This is Ayana. Actually, this is not a pronoun. This is a noun. Ayaneshu. Ayana is a noun. And what is the original word for Ayana? I just said it. It's Ayana. Okay. And which case is this? Anyone? Because I hope you all memorize Krishna word. 7 and what else?
3.
7-3. Krishneshu, Ayaneshu. What does Ayana mean?
Journey, trip, travel, like Ramayana.
Okay, let's just check the dictionary. Ayana. Ayana, walking a road, a path, procession, course, circulation, way, progress, place of refuge. So generally, Ayana means a path. Generally, Ayan generally means marga, a path. Then, and it's masculine. Then comes cha. So this is an avyaya, which means and. Then sarveshu. What is Sarveshu? Noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, or something else?
Pronoun.
Yes, this is a pronoun, Sarvanam. And what is the original word for Sarveshu?
Sarva.
Sarva. Which case?
7.3 again.
Yes, 7.3. And so this is, I mentioned it earlier also, but I'm just repeating it. See, this Sarveshu is also 7.3 and Ayaneshu is also 7.3. So this is a style of writing in Sanskrit that the Visheshana and the Visheshya, I mean the nouns and its adjectives, they are written in the same cases, same vibhaktis. And that's how you reconcile them together or tally them, you know. That's how you get to know that one is a noun and another one is an adjective. The cases should be same, 95%. In some cases, they can differ, but mostly they should be same. So, and what does it mean?
All सब जगह सर्वेशु में सब माने सब.
Yeah, in all. Yatha. What is yatha?
Likewise.
No, means pronoun, noun, verb, or something like that. What is yatha?
Noun प्रभु.
Anyone else? Any more guess? What is yatha?
Avaya.
Yes, this is avjay actually. And what does yatha mean?
Like.
Yeah, like or.
As also.
If you see here the meanings, in which manner, way, according as, or for instance, namely, in order, this matches, you know, this is more closer to the translation, or this is also more closer in a certain manner or in a certain way. So we can take in a certain manner or in a certain order. So it can mean in a certain order or manner or way. Okay, if I add a V before yatha, then what does it become?
Misery.
Huh?
Problem, misery.
So it becomes vyatha, which means problems and miseries. So Sanskrit is quite, it's quite a language actually. You just keep adding one words here and there and you'll get new meanings from it. Okay. Then the next word is bhagam. So if you can break up these two words, bhagam and avasthitaha. So a is a vowel, a sarveshwara. So that's why this ma did not convert into a Vishnu chakra. Just a side note on today's Sandhi. So bhagam is what? A noun, pronoun, adjective, or what else?
Pronoun.
Okay. But here it acts as a noun. Here it is a noun. Which case?
2.1.
Let's check what is the gender of bhagam actually. So first of all, bhagam is a masculine. And it means part, portion, share, allotment, spot, place, region, side. So we'll take meanings from this one. You see this taking the place of, we'll take something from here, place or spot. So it is 2.1 because it's a masculine word, and we'll take it as place or spot. Yes. The next word is avasthita. So what is this avasthita? A noun, pronoun, adjective, or something else?
Those who are standing, it is which part of speech should be?
Means
Those
of
who are
course,
those who are gathered here.
yeah, means you did the meaning, but what it is, an adjective, pronoun, noun, or something else? The meaning is
No,
right.
it is Kridanta ending other. No, we can
Yeah,
say
of course, this is a kridanta, but it acts as an adjective. So we'll discuss what is the noun for this adjective. So it's a kridanta. Kridanta basically means you add a pratyaya to a verb and it converts into a noun. So this is an adjective. And which case is this? Anyone?
1.3.
1 point?
1.3.
And the original word is? Avasthita. It means?
To be situated.
To be situated. Then the next word is Bhishmam. So what is Bhishmam here? Noun, pronoun, or something else? So it's a noun and it is a masculine. Which case?
2.1.
This is 2.1. And it's simply a name which means Bhishma. Then we have Eva. So Eva is Avyaya, which means certainly, indeed, and so on. Then we have Abhi Rakshantu. This is interesting. What is Abhi Rakshantu?
Abhi means from all sides.
No, means is this a verb, noun, pronoun, or something?
Verb.
This is a verb. And okay, so Abhi means what?
From all sides.
From all sides. And Rakshantu means? Protect. You should, yeah, it's a command actually. You should protect. So by these usages of these pratyayas, so you will get to know many meanings. Like abhi here means abhitah, sarvato prakarena, sabhi dishaon se, from all sides. And rakshantu means you should protect. And this rakshantu is actually in plural. Just this is a plural usage here.
You all should.
Yeah, you all should actually. Yes. Then, and it is made up of the verb abhi. The verb is raksh, and then the pratyaya tamantu. Then we get this form. Then the next word is bhavantah. Okay. What is bhavantah? It's a noun, pronoun, adjective, or something else.
It is respectful addressing to the person, and in Bahuvachana again.
Yeah, of course, but what is this? Like noun, pronoun, adjective, or something else?
Noun here.
It is should be pronoun.
Generally, if there is a particular name mentioned in the words, then bhavanta would have been considered as a pronoun, as you rightly said. But in this case, bhavanta is the main noun to whom Duryodhana is addressing. So here we'll consider bhavanta as a noun, and this is 1.3. And the original word for bhavanta is bhavat. Yes. And it means you all. And this is said in respect, as Mandalpati Prabhu rightly said. Yes. And this is masculine,
But is
of
it
course.
Prabhu, is it possible for word you to become noun?
Means I'm not saying that it didn't convert, but we don't have any specific noun mentioned here for bhavanta, for sarvaha, and for avasthita. So we consider bhavanta as the main. Let's not use the term noun, then we can use sub-noun or something like that. But bhavantah has to be considered the main noun, sort of. We're not changing their constitutional position, so to say. But we're just considering them as the main, that you all, like that. And if I'm not wrong, in the list of sarvanamas, in the list of the pronouns, I don't think if we have bhavat. If I'm right, then bhavat is in the list of shabd prakaran and considered as a noun separately. Let's just check it actually. Yeah, so if you see here, bhavat is a noun which is used both in masculine or feminine. So it's not a pronoun actually. And let's check for sarva. And of course, this is also can be masculine or feminine, but here it specifically mentions that it is inflected as a pronoun. But in the case of bhavat, it's not mentioned specifically that it's used as a pronoun. And if you remember doing the declination, working on chapter 3, Shabd Prakaran of Harinamamrit Vyakaran, then bhavat word comes in between, and where we do the declension of bhavat word, and it's considered a noun there. So it's not wrong to consider bhavat as a noun. Then the next word is sarva. So if you see, we have sarva and eva. Now, because you all have studied Sarveshwara Sandhi, so this must have been joined together, because first of all we have a and then we have a. So Dirgha Sandhi would have applied here and we would have Sarvaiva. But it's written independently. What is the cause? Anyone? You need transcendental vision to see this actually. So it was survey here, and then we applied Ayadi Sandhi.
प्रभुजी हाँ यहाँ पे प्रभुजी रूल था ना ए ओपिहाम हरो इसलिए नहीं मिलेगा.
हाँ, उससे पहले ए का अय हो गया, a converted into a by Ayadi Sandhi, and that optional, we had two right answers, two optional answers, So ya got deleted, and then we are left with sarva and eva. So one more point on that sandhi is that when we delete this ya or va, then no more sandhi is done. The two words remain two, and no more sandhi is done, in spite of the fact that there seems to be an opportunity, a possibility of the happening of the sandhi. So that's why it's sarva and it's sarve actually. So this is a pronoun here for bhavantah, and this is 1.3. This is masculine, and it means all. Yes. Then the next word is eva. It is an avyaya, and it means certainly. And again, he is an avyaya, and it also means certainly or indeed. Yes. So this is how we did the words, the word to word meanings. We'll just quickly map it. Okay, what is the verb here? Anyone in the verse?
Rakshantu, abhirakshantu.
Abhirakshantu is the verb. Okay. Abhirakshantu means that you should protect, you know. Who should protect?
Sorry, Prabhuji, whom should be protected or who should protect?
Who should protect? Who is the doer of protection? Who is the main noun in the verse? Who will protect?
Bhavantah.
Bhavantah, right. And how many bhavantah, or anything more about bhavantah?
Sarveshu.
Survey.
Oh, survey.
Yeah, it's survey. All of. And how are all these survey bhavantah are situated? It's yatha and then bhagam avasita. Is yatha bhagam together? Yeah, if you see yatha and bhagam are together, I'm sorry. So yatha bhagam is together. So it means that those who are situated in their own particular specific positions, they all. And where are they situated all? Where they are situated?
On the battlefield, Kurukshetra.
No, here we have Ayaneshu. In their own places, spots or margas, pathas, the path of their vyuha, the army phalanx, they say. And furthermore, Sarveshu Ayaneshu. Means when an army, they make a view of that army. It's not like that army goes in the battlefield and they just stand randomly. Someone is running there and another fellow is running out there. It's not like that. It's a well-planned, disposition of the army, and everyone is located at a particular position in the army. So this is what Duryodhana is reminding all of his soldiers, his armies, that we have already located you, stationed you in your particular places. So stick to your places. Don't move here and there. Just stick to your places and do what? Protect. Now protect whom? Protect whom?
Bhishma.
Anyone? Yeah, it's
Bhishma.
Yes. Bhishmam. Bhishma ko, kartane karma ko. Bhishmam. And then we can add this. Eva. He. That you. First of all, you certainly protect, Bhishma. Don't miss him, and keep an eye on Bhishma, that is well protected. So like that, the verse is done. That sarveshu ayaneshu yatha bhagam avastitah sarve bhavantah or bhavante bhavantah sarve Bhishmam eva hi abhirakshantu. So this is the anvaya of this little sweet shloka. Any question on this?
Eva he means the same thing. So
Yes.
is it just for the poetic meter purpose?
Means I understand on this way because eva and he basically means the same. So what I understand from this shloka that of course there can be some hidden meaning, but any acharya didn't give any particular meaning to this. And second is for to fulfill the need of the chanda.
Yeah.
Vak Purana, they say in Sanskrit. So for Vak Purana, to complete that chanda, so they have to use some, so avyas are sometimes used as Vak Puranas. So as, how do you say that in English? No, a thing to use.
Fillers.
Yeah, filler. It's a filler. As a filler to complete the chanda, the requirement of the chanda. And also, eva he gives a stress also, an emphasis also, that you all must protect Bhishma. Like eva gives a particular emphasis, stress, but Duryodhana, when he says he also, then it makes double stress on the same point. It means that he very much cares for Bhishma, and he very much knows, like in the previous verse he said, that our strength is based upon Bhishma's strength. So if Bhishma is the main pillar upon which our army is stationed. So if something happens with Bhishma, something wrong happens with Bhishma, we all will doom. No, we all will be doomed and baffled. So you all better protect him. So it's an emphasis also.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we going to study sometime chanda also in this course? I'm just asking.
I don't know. I don't think of starting chandas and all. And I don't think it's that necessary.
Okay.
Unless you want to compose some verses and so on. Yeah. Any more question or comments? Something clarification? I think it was quite easy, this shloka. So, okay, so if no question or something.
Prabhuji, what is the actual meaning of avya? Avya and anvya, in दोनों में क्या difference है? मतलब तो कुछ clear नहीं होगा.
डिक्शनरी से पूछते हैं. So, avya means not liable to change, imperishable, undecaying. This is the grammatical meaning. An indeclinable word. Indeclinable word means, like we have words like Krishna. So in such words, what we can do is, we can decline the main word Krishna with many vibhaktis, with applying many vibhaktis, like, Krishna, Krishnau, Krishna, and so on, right? But an avyaya, for example, he remains the same always. It doesn't, you won't see avyaya with a visarga or with an anuswara and so on. They always remain the same, with the same meaning. Okay? Yeah, so this was. Okay, so thank you very much. So tomorrow we'll conduct class, but we will not study grammar. So please revise the Vishnu Jana Sandhis till now. You have 2 days, and then on Thursday we'll conduct a small test like previous Monday we did it. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.